like it. No Kittle either. That's impressive.
Nah, no Kittle. Moving on, we have a game that I have a lot to say about, and that's the Broncos and Texans. The 16-9 victory over the Texans. It's funny how a win can make you question them even more. First of all, I know it's only 2 games into the season, and it's only 2 games into the career of Nathaniel Hackett, but Nathaniel Hackett is a Nathaniel Wackjob. Nathaniel Hackett is a horrible coach. He's way over his head. He shouldn't be on this team any longer than a full season before he gets out of town and they replace him with a competent head coach. First of all, a head coach that can make decisions. This is the play that drove me absolutely nuts. First of all, the Texans had this game. I think the Texans probably should have won this game. But, it's the Texans. They're a low team. I'm not going to shut them up too much. You had a field goal ready to tie the game with the Texans, and you didn't decide whether you wanted to go for it or kick a field goal. So you ended up getting a delay of game, which kicked you out of field goal range.
What?
Are you kidding me?
What?
Here's an idea, Nathaniel Hackett. If you have an idea and that's what you want to do, then fucking do it and just live with your decision. But don't just sit there and go, do I do this? Do I do that? Causes confusion on the offense. It also makes you look like a fucking idiot. So, honestly, we're looking at all these head coaches who were hired this offseason. We have the Mike McDaniels of the world, who's now 2-0.
Great.
We have Kevin O'Connell, who he's been okay. We'll get to him later. Who else was hired?
We have the guy for the Bears,
Matt Eberfluss. He's coached football so far. Lovie Smith. Hey, say what you will. But the Broncos, oh my God. Oh, and I haven't even gotten to Russell Wilson, by the way, who, by the way, for context, for everyone in the comments that says, oh my God, why are you hating on Russell Wilson? Oh, give him time to gel with the offense. Listen, this is coming from somebody who has loved Russell Wilson throughout his career. But he had played one of the worst games I've ever seen from Russell Wilson yesterday. I mean, 4 of 14 to start the game against the Texans? Are you kidding me? How can anybody defend this man after he had one of the worst games I've ever seen from Russell Wilson? Nathaniel Hackett is a hack job. Their offense only mustered 16 points. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Against the Texans? What are you doing? The Broncos? Frauds.
This is the classic case of why would you hire the coach before you find your quarterback? And Nathaniel Hackett comes from Matt LaFleur, who came from Tennessee. And he goes to Green Bay, and he's like, we want to run the ball more to take pressure off Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron's like, I don't know, but we'll try that. And turns out when you do play action with Aaron Rodgers, who's the most accurate thrower of the football of all time, it's going to work out for you. So that Packers offense looks awesome. Nathaniel Hackett goes to Denver, and then Russ is like, I can't win in Seattle. Pete Carroll just wants to run the ball. He won't let me cook. He won't let me throw the ball. Our offensive line is terrible. Even though I have DK, I want to leave. They're like, okay, fair. You go to Denver, who has top 5 defense in the league, at least talent-wise. You have Patrick Surtain and Bradley Chubb, 2 of the most dominant football players at their position. And then you have Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. Huge upgrade. Definitely the best running backs you've had since Marshawn Lynch. Yeah. And then your coach is like, yeah, I want to run the ball a lot. And then Russell Wilson's like, well, I want to throw it a lot. And then it's just awkward because now the offense on that team doesn't have an identity. The players seem uncomfortable and they're walking on eggshells around Russell Wilson because you don't know when Russ is just going to throw you under the bus. So the way he left Seattle kind of just said, I don't think I can win here. The offensive line is terrible. Wasn't the most graceful way to do it. And then he's in Denver where it's like, I want to throw the ball, but the coach wants to run the ball. Same situation in Seattle. And you're going to run into shots where Russ is going to want to throw it. And then the coach is going to want to run it or kick a field goal. And it just shows the coach isn't fully trusting Russ. And Russ doesn't have the stones to go up to the coach and say, no, I want to throw it. Lamar Jackson can go up to John Harbaugh and be like, I want to run the ball on 4th down or make a play with my legs or my arm. And John Harbaugh will be like, you know what? You're a top 5 talent in the league. You're an MVP. Okay, let's go for it. Russell Wilson can be like, I've won a Super Bowl. I have made big plays in big moments. I have the most fourth quarter comebacks of anyone in the NFL besides Matthew Stafford. And the coach should be like, okay, if that's not the situation, what the fuck did you trade for him for?
Why did you pay him?
Why'd you pay him so much money?
For 7 years. His contract was for 7 years.
I mean, 16 points with Devontae Williams, probably like one of the top pass catching backs in the league. And you can't score? And you have Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, who everyone says are amazing.
Yeah, Jeudy got hurt, sadly. But Cortland Sutton, still a competent receiver. The Broncos have a lot of work to do. First order of business is fire Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett is garbage. Horrible head coach. Honestly, the worst head coach hired of this last hiring period.
Why didn't you hire Eric Bieniemy? I mean, he's a successful offensive coordinator, learned under Andy Reid, who has produced some very competent coaches under his tree, and then you won't even give the guy a phone call when he coaches he coaches in your division, so he knows how to coach against the Raiders, the Chargers, and he knows your team and kind of the vibe of your team. So it's like, why would you hire Nathaniel Hackett besides attracting Aaron Rodgers? And then if you're not going to get Aaron Rodgers, why the fuck do you have Nathaniel Hackett?
Yeah, exactly.
The fucking hack job. I mean, that guy is like,
he just looks lost. Every time I see him, he looks lost. Nathaniel Hackett's horrible.
He looks like a